Tuesday Movie of the Week. Presenting the world premiere of an original motion picture produced especially for ABC. Tonight on Tuesday Movie of the Week.
Well, we had a pretty good work session last night, guys. Got quite a bit done. Continuing to pull parts off of this thing. I've got it kind of set up here. It's working out pretty well. I've got the rear wheels there on the ramps, and then I've been actually alternating, flipping this thing over. You can see right now it's upside down, but I'm using these blocks that I have, one on each end, and I'm able to actually rotate this thing with its transaxle there up and over to that side, and I'm flipping it back and forth, so I got access to the bottom right now, and working out really well. So just thought I'd show you guys that. That's something that might help you working on yours. And I have got all the linkages pulled off here that go on the brake panel, that go on the brake pedal here. All those have been removed, and I believe I'm just about ready to be able to what they call split the tractor. I believe before I do that, I'll go ahead and pull off this front axle. Talk about this for just a second. Right there, that's quite a bit of play, and that contributes a lot to sloppy steering. When you go to turn the wheel, the first thing that happens is your axle starts moving, and it's also really annoying to drive equipment like this across bumpy ground. It's chattering away on you. So I want to get this all nice and tightened up so this thing will be like brand new. And the pins on these things are replaceable. Here's the end of it right there, and it's got a drive spiral pin that holds it in right there. Alright, so that's out, and now we got to devise a way to knock this other pin out. It looks actually kind of loose. We'll just give it a little try here with this punch. Yeah, there it goes. No problem. Alright, so now that the axle's gone, you can see more what I was talking about. This is kind of a channel setup, and it's easy to see, however, after using this for some time, driving it over terrain and whatever, as the axle torques this way, that this could begin to spread apart and open up. Working right now on the hydro pump. That is the yellow. I guess it was sprayed on by the factory or whatever overspray hit it. It's kind of embedded in there still. I am using this tough strip. Seems to be working pretty good. It's just a paint remover. It really doesn't budge it off the iron, but it seems to do a really good job. Loosens it up almost immediately on the aluminum. So that's where I want it off. I'm not worried about the iron. Whatever stays behind is going to stay. So I'm not too concerned about getting it off the iron, but it's this aluminum piece that I want it off of. These fins you see on there on that pump are the cooling fins, just like any motorcycle engine. So these hydros can actually get pretty warm. So you want to give them all the chance you can to cool off properly. So if yours is already bare aluminum and you're about to paint yours, go ahead and tape that off and paint the rest yellow and leave this in its bare metal finish. If you ever want to see what $100 worth of Cub parts looks like, there you go. That's about it. I went through on the parts list for this transmission and looked everything up that I thought I might need to go ahead and do this job right. Alright, this is actually one of the things that did bump the price up. This is the rag joint for the drive line. Really all these things are is a piece of rubber with fabric embedded in them. They're kind of sandwiched up. They use this stuff for all kinds of things. It's like a thick mud flap off a truck. And real simple setup, but this is what transfers the power. Or people call them transfer pads, coupling pads. But this thing alone was about 20 bucks, which I think is a little over the top for a chunk of rubber. But that was a big part of the price right there. And let's see what else we got here. This is a spring for the brake assembly. It's a return spring, and the one that I had on there looked fine, but while this stuff is available and you're restoring your tractor, and this is how it does add up, but it's a good time to go ahead and replace this stuff. Who knows how much longer this stuff will be available, so I went ahead and snagged that. Got an O-ring. I'm not remembering right now where this goes. I think it goes on the hydro pump part of this, but I'm not for sure. That'll work itself out later. Here's another spring. Basically, I got two springs. There'll be another one here somewhere. You can't see them. These are for the hydro drive unit. They go inside the trunnion. They sit inside here, and they kind of keep the slack out of the drive so it doesn't really slam forwards and backwards when you change position. And another thing, like I said, while those are available, it's a good time to go ahead and replace those now. Here's another item that ran the price up, and it's not really part of this. Got a new brake pad for the brake assembly. It's really the one I had on there just cosmetically was a little bit rough looking. It works just fine, but I like my restos to look nice and new when they're done. So went ahead and grabbed one of those. And then the important stuff. Here's a grommet. Not all that important, but it's kind of cool this stuff is available, so I went ahead and snagged it. The biggest part of the reason I did this is this bag is full of 4 seals. It'll be the axle seals, which are down back inside there on each side, and then the hydro pump seals. There's one here, and then I think there's one on the front hiding right back behind there. So I'll get both ends of the hydro pump sealed up with the new seals, and then I'll get the axle sealed off. And then another item I bought for the axle is a set of carrier gaskets. And I think those are in here. Fragile. Must be Italian. Alright, enough of that. That was lame. This is, here they are. Here's the gasket, axle, carrier, one each. Got a pair of those. There's the part number in case anyone wants that. And those will go on both sides. And make sure, like I said, I don't have any clue if this thing was leaking before. It wasn't putting out anything huge, and when I cleaned this thing off, it was just caked. So who knows where all the different leaks were coming from. But those go inside here, and the best time to get to these and the oil seal in the axle is when you are doing something like this, or when you're changing the hydro fluid. Here's the last item here. See if I can grab it. Yeah, I went ahead and got the hydro pump seal. This goes inside here. So I'll have to pull off part of this thing. I don't remember where this goes in. But we'll get all the parts list and check it out. But I think this is a good time to put this seal in as well. Here's the part number. That's a Cub Cadet number. So guys, we'll go ahead and get to work now, putting some seals in. And this is probably the turning point of the project. I've been waiting on this this group of parts to come in, so we'll be able to actually start heading back in the assembly and the painting direction now. I ordered my Cub Cadet yellow paint. I'm having the guy mix it. Same guy that mixed the orange for this little bad boy over here. 2 years plus now. And just take a look at that shine, guys. It still looks really good. You can see reflections in it really well. And it's really a high quality paint. I've got a few chips that have turned up, but nothing really big. I've not had a bunch of flaking, and the main thing is it just hasn't faded down. It's really kept a nice gloss. So that's enough of a audition for me. I'll go ahead and use this same, the brand of the paint is called Matrix. So we'll mix up a nice Cub Cadet yellow. The guy's doing it for me right now. And we'll be ready to start painting here in the next week or so. Alright guys, here's a look inside this bad boy. Great condition as we looked at earlier in the videos. But this is where you get to the clips to release the axles. Then you can do your work on your axle carrier gasket that goes in here, and then your oil seal on out towards the end there. So let's go ahead and get this clip pulled right now. I've never done one of these before. I know basically what to do, but we'll go ahead and check this out and see if we can get this thing going back the other way, get this thing together. Alright, well, we're working on this, removing this axle. I've actually got the clip out, and the clips, guys, are right inside here. This is getting kind of late in the evening, which is when I tend to work the most, but right up in here, see if I can get a light for you and point it out. This is not going to be good, but this will help you guys, I think, some of you. The clips we're talking about are right in here. See this end of the screwdriver? They basically sit right there. There's a spline at the end of the axle, and it's a C-clip. And it's right in there. It's kind of hard to see, but that's the area that you need to look in. It'll be obvious when you get there. Here is the clip removed. See that splined axle moving in out there. So basically that clip comes off, and then pan out here a little bit, and then your axle just slides right out pretty easily here. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Well, I've hung up on something, but they come out. There we go. And it just slides right out there. So there's your splined end, and that is the axle of a Cub Cadet right there. Pretty good design. Pretty slick way to do that. So we'll just set that aside. Looks fine. Doesn't look too messed up on the ends there. And then that gives you access right there to your oil seal. Be real easy to pop that out and replace it. And like I said, this is the time to do it. Now what's going on here is that these clips, and like I said, it's just getting hard to see, but these clips inside here, my needle nose pliers just cannot get a hold of those things. There's not enough room. It's a real, less than 1/8 of an inch, I think, in there, and you just cannot get a bigger pair of needle nose pliers. You have to start using these real narrow ones, and they just do not put out enough grip to pull those clips off. So what I did is you turn the axle, and you can see the clip. Turn it around till you can see the ends there, and I think that's showing up. And I just took 2 flat-headed screwdrivers and put one on each side and just gave it a pop. It actually just did the old ping and shot into the transmission case here. No big deal. It's real simple. I don't see it right now. It's probably either laying in a puddle of high-tran or something up in there, but not to worry, because I did buy this gasket and I am going to be pulling that top cover. So we're going to pull that off now, and I bet you $1 we'll be able to see straight down exactly where that clip went. Got a helper arriving on the scene. A worthless tiger cat. in his natural environment. Actually, he's a pretty good little hunter. You guys have seen this animal in a bunch of my videos, or some of them. And as I keep telling everyone, I let him hang around. Not a cat guy, but he's a good little hunter. So he knocks out all kinds of critters that happen to wander on our property. So he earns his keep. You don't see really anything of any mice or rats, or he's even knocked out all the moles. I don't even see any trenches in the yard anymore. So good job, buddy. Hey, cat. We've never named him. I call him Hobbs. He goes by anything. So, but what he does come to is a whistle. Watch this. Here he comes. Kind of like a dog. He's my dog cat. Aren't you? Alright, well now I've got to go feed him, because when he hears that sound, here he comes. Yeah, you're a good little guy. You're a good little cat. Alright. Gosh, I'm not a cat guy. What happened? Huh? What happened, buddy? Alright, let's go feed him, and then we'll get back to this thing. Alright, we've got both clips pulled, so we'll go ahead and just slide this other axle out. Like I said, they come out pretty darn easy. That one slid right out. And that will give us access to the oil seals, and we can now remove the rest of these and get to our carrier gasket right here. And let's go ahead and remove this side. I've got all the bolts off, and it's just kind of hanging there. I'll just give it a little tap here at the mallet. Been on there a long time, probably since it was brand new, back in '71. I can hear that sound, guys. It kind of took on a hollow sound. That tone changes, you know it's about to let loose. Oh yeah! Oh yes! Alright, here at the Saturn V garage we show our mistakes. These bad boys were holding onto some fluid, so that is a job for Mr. Clean right there. I'm going to have to bring in some, this stuff is so slippery. Good God, what have I done? So the gasket, you know, ripped off here, and shouldn't be too big of a problem to get the rest of that off, but this is fun. And as an added bonus, since this thing yawed to the right, check that out. We've got two big old puddles. That's okay. This is how it goes. Like I said, we show everything here, and I'm gonna get to the cleanup now, and we'll catch up with you guys later.